Welcome to another great edition of Younger Life. Hi, I'm Rick Federici.
And I'm Mary Anthony.
You know, I feel like getting out there on a bike. I got to tell you.
I know. Well, after you mentioned that you and your wife took a bike ride last night, I thought that does sound really nice. One of the things we're going to discuss today, I was sent an article on the 10 amazing benefits of walking.
Ooh.
And I know this sounds funny. Okay, so
like.
it sounds like that sounds too easy. And I recall many shows ago, we've
been doing this for so long, people.
No, it really,
I mean,
but
it
was one of the beginning shows. I had commented that in my huge menagerie of workout DVDs,
Yes.
that I have a couple of walking ones. And I remember particularly that Brendan Scott was here, and I believe Stacy, we were talking about hiking that day. And I said that I have walking videos, and he gave me a look like, are you kidding? And I said, no, I do. And they are challenging because they're not just walking. It's like interval walking.
Were they as good as your introduction to yoga videos you let Norm and I borrow?
They're much more engaging than that boring video I let you try. So anyway,
I tried it though. Hey.
So what struck me was when I got this article that was sent to me on the benefits of walking, I thought, okay, this backs up my theory a little. Now I don't feel so silly about having these walking videos.
Who sent it to you? Your husband, Jeremy?
It actually was sent to me by, I'm a member of, I track, I've mentioned I track my, I have a Fitbit, so I keep track of that.
Sure.
But I also have a calorie counter, and they send me really cool articles sometimes. And sometimes I think they're awesome for our, perfect for our show. And other times I just find them, they're okay, but I don't keep them. But this one, seemed to tie in. And when you mentioned the bike ride you guys took last night, which it was a beautiful evening. I mean, it really was. Temperature was nice. It was breezy, but it wasn't terrible windy, at least by us.
Gorgeous.
So it was a beautiful evening. It would have been a great night for a bike ride or a walk, even. So
can I tell you, we strategically placed it only because we'll talk about young Devin Federici and her trip to the doctor /hospital/ER, which was the result of the late night. But I think the good Lord was hovering above us because of the stress in life, sometimes for couples and families. It was so super late that everybody was watching the Chicago Blackhawks game, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
So there was nobody out. I mean, we were able to we were flying through neighborhoods.
That's really nice.
Busy streets. It was just beautiful.
It is.
And
it's nice occasionally. Of course, the social aspect of getting out there is always beneficial, but occasionally just to get out and just be in the air without feeling, I don't want to say feeling the pressure to say hello to every neighbor or friend you run into. It's nice. So especially just the two of you together, that's a really nice way to just zone out.
Well,
so tell us about Devin.
Okay.
When I came in, you just mentioned she had a rollerblading incident. So
we were riding our bikes, Norm and I, and so Devin was actually faster than what we were going on our bikes. So you figure we're going an average of 14 to 18 miles an hour, roughly. Because you were on your live bike the other day from the bike stop. So 14's pretty decent. But when you're getting up into 17, 18, and you're consistent. So Norm and I are side by side, and Devin's on the inner side of me.
Okay.
Well, she beelines in front of us, and she's rollerblading because her and her girlfriends they're that good.
That's fast. She's hauling.
Right?
She's moving. Yeah.
So at that point, that's when I get nervous, and I always say, "Be careful." She's like this, Dad, and she sometimes has her buds in.
Yeah.
So she's just in her mindset, and she's just exercising with us, and I love that. So she's doing her thing. Norm and I are doing our thing, and all of a sudden, when you're going down the streets, and we're in flat land. I always say our communities and our neighborhoods are flat. So we're flying down the streets, and so there might be little niches in the street.
Absolutely.
Like everybody. Right? Because a lot of communities and a lot of towns, I'll just say, lack the upkeep sometimes.
Well, yeah, and it's difficult to keep up with, they're not going to come out unless it's a big enough pothole. Well, these little tiny spots are really rough when you're riding a bike or you're rollerblading or skateboarding or something like that. It's, you feel it a lot more, and it's a lot more dangerous than just in your car,
So we'll talk about the sidewalk aspect of this. So all of a sudden she's in front of us, and then she's neck and neck with us, and she hits a twig. Which I know she didn't see. And this is the one reason, I'm just going to be very honest. I don't like rollerblades at all. I'm a roller skate kid.
Yeah.
So I grew up, and to this day I would love to do a roller skating event. because to me, roller skating is so much fun.
It is. And
Because
it's a good workout too. And
it's got the brakes on the front, even though I know rollerblades do too. Chime in 219-861-1632.
their brakes are on the back.
Exactly. And I don't like, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
It's definitely a different concept.
Well, it's kind of like when you and the family went, and I don't know how some people ice skate. I can get up, but I'm wobble boy. She flips, she hits this twig, and she literally flips. Like she
that's so
comes
scary.
up,
Yeah.
and then what happens is she goes to fall down, and I'm literally I'm clipped in. Norma
Yes.
does the bikes. Now the other day when you rode your bike, were you clipped in?
No.
Okay, that's Norma. She's very much all about just being in her
I can't.
gym shoes. That's Norma.
I know it's psychological. I totally
And
realize.
you want to know what? I would have thought I would have never been able to do that personally. But now that I've used the aerodynamic shoes
Yes.
clips, to me, it's the
the only way. Right.
So now I'm flying down the block and I see my daughter fall and I click out. I'm like, click. So you
Yeah.
got to go right, left, or left, right. And I stop. And she is on the ground crying because she flips. And I know the way that she hit it because she flips and goes sideways. She hits her back and then she uses, here, it gets better. She uses her arm to try to stop the fall.
That's what you do. It's natural reaction.
It is. I've done it.
But I mean, absolutely, it's natural
Yeah.
reaction. But then so many parts of your arm then are at super risk of break. I mean, the wrist, your elbow.
Yep, you are right on.
Oh, it's so easy to do.
So picture your mom. I could see it in your eyes. You're sensing what is going on through my
absolutely.
end. And Norma's now freaking out because
Yeah.
she falls and then she tries to land on her wrist.
Catch her
arm.
hand, yeah.
So she just, it's blood and then the wrist.
Yeah.
And she's like, she just lays there and I'm like, you know how it is. I cry. I have no problem with crying as a man at 49 years old.
right.
My daughter's 18 and she never cries. She's a tough young woman.
I hear you.
She's crying.
Yeah, and that's big time.
And I'm like, okay, don't freak out.
That's
because
it.
in my life, I have freaked out plenty of times with emergencies and stuff, but only because it's a natural reaction.
It is a natural
You know what I'm saying?
reaction. It
I'm being
really
honest.
is.
So I pick her up and I immediately, before I pick her up though, I'm unstrapping her blades.
Yeah.
And I get her in her socks and I'm like, and we're literally, okay, we're not too far from home. I'm like, let's just sit. We sit her down on the thing.
Catch
I'm
your
like, do you
breath.
want me to go get the car? I could go fly home and get it. No, Dad. Long story short, we ice it as soon as we get home. And I said, let's go. She bruised really bad. They had to do x-rays. She bruised her back area, but right above her. Well, what's the area right above your buttocks? Is that like basically that back area going down
your hips?
towards your buttocks
Like
area?
where her hips are.
Right, yeah, like basically down, but the whole back.
Oh my.
Her butt hurt her so bad that she couldn't even sit down.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's
picture
gonna,
this,
That's
right.
going to be days.
They x-rayed it and said that she bruised it so bad that she's lucky. Now, I don't know if there's bones in your butt.
Well, you have your tailbone.
And they
You know.
talked about her bruising her tailbone. And they said sometimes it's as bad, and I'm not a doctor, neither are you. We don't play them.
Right.
But it could feel, and I could just feel that because I've broken stuff before, ankles or, whatever. Anyways, she was there. Hours they were there. Hours. So long story short, they didn't give her any medication, obviously. They said, chill out. She can't do gym for a week. She's a student
Right.
leader. And her
Yeah,
final
that's
weeks as
tough.
a senior in high school, she's bummed.
Yeah.
But anyways, long story short, it's one of those things as a parent where you say, I'm going to tell you right now, I do not care for rollerblading. And even if she wouldn't have fallen, I even said that right before she got on those blades, Mary.
It's
I'm
scary.
like, it's scary.
It
you
is
know?
scary. What about the arm? I'm curious.
Really, really
Just road rash
battered.
bad
Just
or
really
just-
bad to the point where it hurts to the touch.
Yeah, but I mean, did she?
There was no broken.
Thank goodness. So
lots
no
of
broken
scrapes.
bones. Yeah.
Because she landed like,
Probably strained it quite a bit, but poor thing. My
know.
goodness.
I know.
She definitely is going to need to rest up a little bit.
know.
Tylenol and Advil for a little while.
And that's what I said. The other thing was, and I made this comment.
Don't you wish you had Cindy, our pharmacist number at home?
Oh.
That you could call her and say, I don't care it's the middle of the night. I really am sorry, Cindy, but we need to know exactly what we can give this child just to feel better. It's miserable to watch your child be miserable. So.
Laura just said my daughter just went through the same thing on a skateboard.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I understand
Skateboard.
your aggravation with rollerblades, but I also understand it can happen on roller skates. It can happen on ice skates. It can happen on skateboards. My kids have them. Those rip sticks that are similar. Goodness, I can't even.
Well, how about those boards? And I know Devin's got them. The board that you go back and forth. You kind of make it go to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right.
To move
and you wiggle your butt. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
I'm
What
trying
are
to think,
those?
is that the rip stick?
The rip. Now, does the rip stick have a stick on it?
The rip stick is it looks like a skateboard, except it's wide on both ends, and it has numerous wheels underneath instead of just two.
Oh, that's the one. That's what it is.
Okay, yeah,
that's
and it's like
Devin's got that.
So those are, I haven't figured out that my own self, but we have a lot of kid powered scooters and stuff, and it's the same thing. It's so easy. Accidents happen so easily, and when they do, it's tough. I think you guys did the right thing by taking her in. It would be very easy to say, let's go home, wash you up, and take a look, but in case something would have been broken, she really needed to, she definitely needed to go in, so I'm glad you took her.
Just as a father, and I'm saying this to the grandparents, the babysitters, those people that are out there, this firsthand. Our children and us, even as I rode my bike, I was crazy.
Right.
And think about it, in our era where we talk about safety for helmets, I know so many of my friends that ride bikes and do stuff, and they do not wear helmets and stuff. This is one of those things where you say, even the elbow pads on this would have helped.
I know. I know. And hindsight, is always 2020 when it comes to stuff like that. It's so easy for it to happen. So of course trying to protect yourself against that is important, but even then, nothing you could do for the old tailbone. That stinks.
I'm with you.
That's really, really hard, and that's rough for her. But
here, how about this one? Hey guys, what do you think about a bike ride today? Richard, laugh out loud. Weather's just like last Friday. That's exactly what I thought this morning.
It's funny that you say that. I noticed in my van, the temperature thing in there said 44. So it was funny because that's what it was on Friday. And, a little bit of fog and just, dampness in the air. I thought the same thing. I thought, well, look at, this is the new standard. It's bike ride weather.
Mama.
Yeah, it's just funny. So that's funny.
I have to tell you, if it was, I'll tell you, this is what I did take home from that bike ride.
Yeah.
And I think you probably agree, but I'm not speaking for you. If it was 44 outside with no wind, and I had the same buff on that the bike stop let me borrow with the gloves and my gear because I was in my cycling stuff, I'm good. I didn't realize that. I thought I'd be not a wimp, but just, it wouldn't be comfortable. I want to enjoy my rides.
That's it. Honestly, prior to leaving, we were freezing and thinking we should just cancel. But once we got going, I was fine. I didn't realize I was as cold as I was because I didn't feel cold. I felt just fine even when we returned, and even with the mascara all under my eyes from the wetness and my eyes running because I didn't wear glasses. It was so hazy. But none of that bothered me. I didn't realize that I was so cold until I was in my van.
Yes.
Driving.
With the heat on, by the way?
Well, I had my butt warmer on.
Of course you did.
Seat warmer.
You had butt warmers in your van? Rock on.
So with the seat warmer on, I started thinking, oh, wow, I was really cold. Like, my body was warming up. And I'm thinking, I didn't realize I was so cold, you know? So I think, we did great for it being so cold and everything. We did great. It was a fun ride, and hopefully next time it won't be so yucky. I promise.
Well, we are, by the way, and folks were asking if we're going to plan a ride. I think the next ride, if you're cool with this, we'll talk to the whole group. I would like to do something post 5. You know what
absolutely.
I mean? If you wouldn't mind,
or
and then
even
that way,
a Saturday or Sunday.
I agree. Oh, weekend
to where
would be
we
perfect.
can have lots of people join us.
I agree. And even do it at like
families.
noon. Oh, I would love to have my daughters, my wife would love it.
It would be nice. Just the camaraderie of a group ride is fun.
Sure.
So I think that's
and maybe at the end, maybe we could do a Chef Brad Spire Farm to Fork. We could do maybe an Al's Barney's. We could have them at the finish line.
That would be great.
With food ready.
There we go.
Woo!
Food ready. That's it.
Which would be wonderful.
Well, and at the park that we were at, we discussed, it would be so nice to do a cookout. Even a potluck. Everybody bring something to share. And have fun,
Make sure it's healthy.
Especially, even if it's not healthy, bring it to share. But, some of these things, especially some of these recipes that we've talked about, that would be really a good time.
I'm with you 100%.
We certainly will let you know when that date's set, but we're we're going to shoot for nicer weather. That's for sure.
Okay.
So,
I like that very much.
Well, okay. So let's discuss these 10 amazing benefits of walking.
All right.
I don't think any of them are super shockers, but a little bit. Okay. Aside from maintaining weight loss or just healthy body in general, it can sharpen your brain. Walking sharpens the brain.
And
walking for exercise it actually has become increasingly important as we age. Mm-hmm. The risk for dementia and other brain disorders increase. So walking can help actually reverse the effects of aging. One study published found that 69 participants aged 55 to 88 who met these exercise guidelines that were set by the American Heart Association showed a significantly lower risk of developing Alzheimer's if they were consistently walking as exercise. Now, again, what I love about walking, even these walking videos that I do, I know that sounds silly. I do them occasionally. They are interval walking. So, it's like a normal marching pace. And then there's other things.
Do they have scenery behind you? Like, what is...
they don't, in the one I have doesn't.
Like
I would always prefer... I would always prefer an outdoor walk, especially with friends. I think it's fantastic. And it's good for the... body, it's good for the mind, it's good for the soul. It really is. Yeah. And it's just good to be out there.
Agreed.
And I think that what's another amazing thing about walking is you don't really need it. You don't need any equipment but you. You know, you can spice it up with hand weights. You can leg weights. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can use to as far as equipment goes, but you really just need you, and you can go to your own pace, which is another amazing thing with biking or anything else. You don't have to meet someone else's standard as long as you're doing it and trying to increase your own ability, trying to maybe, try to get from here to the stop sign and back and beat your own time next time or something.
Are you, when you're doing it, do you use your Fitbit to track steps? I'm just curious.
I do. Again, I'm not going to promote the Fitbit, but I think it's an important thing to bring up. And there's all kinds of fitness trackers. It doesn't have to be Fitbit. There's apps for phones. There's apps, all kinds of things. And what's amazing about it is it just feels good when you're getting those steps in. It's recommended that on average, the average person should fit in 10,000 steps in a day. That sounds like a ton. That's an average of walking around for 5 miles in a day. It's important, and it feels good when you can get there or beat that. I love to... I hate going to bed if I've not had all of my steps light up. That's just my competitive nature, though.
Can I throw this out there to you?
Please.
Tell Mary, you're going to like this, from Jackie. I truly believe the walking I've been doing is helping me achieve an all-over body fitness. By the way, Mary, I also use Fitbit. My daughter, Devin, my wife, her friends, they all use their Fitbits. And I know Mary in marketing is a Fitbit queen too. So
I think that's great.
Really good,
and it's not
piece of
just
equipment.
What I love is it's not just women. Thank you, Jackie. Yeah. And I think walking too, it's important. And the more you do it and the more you actually enjoy it, especially if you can get outdoors to do it. I mean, there's nothing like being in the outdoors that really makes things better, whether you are on the bike or versus the trainer. You said it yourself, the trainer's a great tool, but outside is always better.
I'm an outside
It's the same thing with walking, but the more you do it, it feels good, and it is total body, especially if you add in a little bit of hand weights or a resistance band.
So when you're walking, are you doing all types of
I do
crazy
sometimes,
stuff?
and sometimes I'm just a nice, easy stroll. It just depends. But what I love is finding out that there are so many health benefits. Part of this sharpening the brain aspect. Do we have a call?
Yeah, go ahead. Part of the sharpening is what?
It actually says if you want to improve your cognitive skills a little bit, try to walk backwards. I know this sounds crazy. Not the whole time.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Walking backwards. Hey, you're on Younger Life with Rick and Mary. Hi, who's this?
Hey, good morning. This is Richard from your favorite photography firm.
Yes.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up? Hi, Mary. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good. Hey, along the lines of walking, I've took off yesterday and I did my weekly long bike ride. I did roughly about 30 miles yesterday.
That is incredible.
I find that the next day, my legs aren't necessarily sore, but they're tired. They're and it takes time to kind of rebuild it. But I can't just sit around and just expect it to go away eventually. So what I do is I'll get up and walk it off, and it's hard to do, but I get up and walk, and it helps.
Wow.
Maybe it helps with circulation. I'm not sure.
It does.
But,
Again, we're not doctors, but they say, especially vigorous exercise, your muscles will have a buildup of lactic acid. So it's important when you're done.
Look at you, Dr. Mary.
Oh no, not a doctor. Please not. But if you're having, especially the tiredness, that's a great sign though. I mean, you've obviously worked those muscles perfect to where it's not an injury, but they're needing a little bit of babying a little bit. So the walking is perfect after a bike ride or something that you've done really hard to kind of release that, reabsorb by the body, kind of just rest those muscles a little. I think that's great. Yesterday was such a beautiful day.
Awesome
Lucky you,
day.
and bravo you getting out for that bike ride. Much nicer than
Do
Fridays.
you find, Richard, that when you are done with your bike ride, do you stretch afterwards, or do you feel it tighten your muscles, or how does that work for you personally? Because I love it. I get off my bike, I'm totally cool.
Well, when I get done, especially after a long bike ride like I had yesterday, I'll kind of wind down. I'll slowly work into a stop, and then once I get stopped, I'll walk around a little bit and I'll stretch, just to kind of help with the sore muscles. And I think I found that, or at least for me, that if I stretch the muscles after the ride, and then just slowly wind down from something like that, it helps me a lot. Now, yeah, but like I say, I've come to expect that my muscles are going to be tired because they're really put under a lot of pressure. Now, yesterday, Mary, Rick and I were talking about this. I stopped by the radio station on my way over to Chesterton, and
Riding his bike, by the way.
That's awesome.
Riding my bike, yes, and I have found on my ride, you see a lot of things that you ordinarily wouldn't get to see. Yesterday on my ride back, I saw there on 49 and County Road 1100, I almost saw a horrendous wreck. I mean, it would have been a total disaster. And all I have to say is, anybody that's on 49, watch it. Whether you're walking, riding your bike, your car, be careful, because there's a lot of crazy fools out there not paying attention.
Very true.
Thanks,
Very
bud.
true.
Appreciate that insight. And you keep living it, baby.
That's right. You keep pedaling. That's awesome.
Awesome job.
I can't wait to ride with you again.
You make sure you let me know when we get the next bike ride together. So maybe I might bring some adult libations along as my potluck.
That sounds good. That sounds like a great time. We'll definitely let you know.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
You could call us at 219-861-1632. Rick Federici, Mary Anthony, of course, having a good time. See, I love that.
I know.
mean,
He's
I'm all about
awesome,
that.
too. Yeah. I mean, he was great on the bike ride, and really how incredible. He's not just... he didn't just go out with us that day. He clearly does this on a regular basis, and that's
so
why
I went out last night, not to be goofball.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, even if Norma and I got in 7, 8, 10 miles, which is right around where we were, I was keeping track, but I was more focused on, I just wanted to get outside. I just wanted to do the ambience. I wanted to be with my wife. The stress of the day was crazy. And I literally, even Norma goes, wow. Normally you're getting ready to go to bed or you're in bed. I'm like, you know what though? This to me, I literally
It's a great way to unwind.
Incredible last night. That was one of the other things.
Unwind.
I don't know when you ride your bike late, if you get better sleep.
Well, anytime,
I do.
any especially outdoor physical activity, it's a great way to end the day. I love to do, we love to go, especially in the summer when it's nicer, go for walks after dinner. Just to enjoy it. It just feels good. It's nice. So let me tell you about the walking backwards, because this was very fascinating to me. So one Dutch study found that walking backwards helps these people literally think faster on their feet.
So walking backwards.
It doesn't tell you how far. I would assume just, if I'm walking down the road, how occasionally I'll say, I'll jog this pole to that pole, whatever.
Right.
I would walk backward that pole. I've never done that, but I think that's
I've
incredible.
never done that.
It says this is along the lines of trying to prevent and make, arm yourself against things like dementia and Alzheimer's. So it said incorporating specific mind-enhancing moves into a workout, such as trying to do a certain pattern or coordinating arm movements as you go, which is something that's very easy. Yeah, even if you anything, moving your arms, trying to do, aside from burning more calories, which we already know, walking is a fitness tool that is free, by the way, and nice, but it also boosts the brain's benefits. So I think it's amazing. The next thing was strengthen your bones. Sharpen your bones. Sharpen your brain and strengthen your bones. Walking can help strengthen bones to reduce your risk of osteoporosis. This is a real issue for women as they age. One nurse's health study found that women that walked a minimum of 4 hours a week saw a 40% reduced risk of hip fractures.
That's incredible.
It really is.
That's a startling stat.
While other forms of vigorous exercise, such as running, jumping, and weightlifting, offer bone-strengthening benefits, the good news is that walking appears to do the same. And walking's much, I don't want to say easier, but it is easier in the fact that it is lower impact. It says that's great news for those that are, just maybe starting a workout routine, or people who have to stick to low impact exercising due to joint issues and just being out in nature. So it benefits everybody, and the walking is just as good as those, which
you're going to love this. Another chime in. Tell Mary it also works a different muscle group when you're walking backwards. That's why people do it.
That's fascinating. I never would have thought that. And I love to walk. I love to go out and walk. And, I think that's why when Stacey Kellogg's here, I'm fascinated by the hiking and the backpacking, because I just love to walk.
Not to be weird, but think about you and Jeremy and the kids and people passing you by.
Well, it's funny. I think as a parent, occasionally I find myself walking backwards anyways, because I'm talking to the little ducklings behind me. Get over, there's a cart, whatever.
Right.
I had to use my mom voice on you bike riding once. Remember, I joked and said,
how does that mom voice sound?
I was like, car coming. I was behind you by a few people, and you're riding towards the middle line.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you were talking to Trina.
All the time.
Well, you were chatting with Trina, and so I was back a ways. There were a few other people in between us, and I was like, car behind us. And I said, don't make me use my mom voice. And actually, Richard said, use it. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I said, get over it. There's a car.
Federici.
So whatever, it was funny. But, so occasionally, I suppose I've never thought about it, but I would walk backwards, but literally a minute while I'm telling him something and turn back around. But anyways, so
I'm going to try that, just so you know. I'm not kidding
I am too. Oh, I'm
going to try it down my block.
I'll tell you, our kind of goal for this morning was to try to Skype ourselves in so we could go walk while we're having this conversation. But with Sanders and Alex both being off today, just in case there were any hang-ups, you and I would be walking the entire hour and it would be blank, would be our luck, and we wouldn't know it.
The cameras are really being done well today.
I know that you're doing a fabulous job. You always do a fabulous
job.
You too. So anyway, another benefit, which we've discussed before about exercise in general, is boosting the mood. Any sort of physical exercise, you let off endorphins, it boosts your mood. But numerous studies have linked walking for exercise with improved mood and reduced stress levels. Again, why it was so important last night for you to do so after that stress of Devin's, crash on her rollerblades. It's just so much stress. You need to settle yourself down. It's a great way to do it.
Cheryl just said that. Cheryl just said, I'm with you guys, but the reason I go walking with my husband is because I get to unwind less stress.
It's a great point. I think it's
very
perfect. Good. It says you even reap better benefits if you take a stroll through nature. Walking outdoors near green space actually has been proven to reduce feelings of frustration and may even help get your brain into a state of meditation sort. This is what it says. So I think it's just so cool. I think we know these things, but to put them in practice, I think we're always surprised by actually that these are clinically tested ideas and shown benefits. So.
And it's very interesting because like when I walk indoors, like in the winter, like you were chatting about trainers, which I'm fine with,
right.
But I can only do it for 15
tool,
or 20 minutes. But I add to that, so I'll walk on the or I'll do the elliptical or I'll walk on the treadmill. And again, that's one of those things, I hate to be this way, but anything over, if you're, I hate to say it, if you're doing a meeting, whether you're on your phone or you're watching TV or I'm trying to do like three things multitasking because I'm trying to use my time wisely. Right. I could do it for 15, 20, 25 minutes and then it's like, ugh.
I know.
But
well, and you have to kind of convince yourself to do it, but at least you're doing it.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, clearly the green, be outdoors, the green space, it's important on numerous levels. So But, if you're walking and doing any sort of exercise, at least you're doing it. I think it's great. Walking also enhances your circulation. Regular physical activity like walking is great for the heart, which we've talked about a million times, it seems, and is important to keep repeating. It enhances circulation to help lower blood pressure and reduce risk of stroke. So it doesn't take much to reap the benefits, which is amazing too. Walking briskly for 30 minutes a day is enough to improve heart health. So,
and that's not hard to do. I got to tell you guys.
It's funny. You think it has to be 30 minutes outdoors or on a treadmill, but it doesn't have to all be at once, which is amazing. If you have 10 minutes,
agree.
Take a walk. And then at least it's 10 minutes down. I think it's important to point that out. Somebody can't go briskly for 30 minutes, and that's okay too. Do it in little bits.
I just had someone say this, and I don't know if you're familiar with this, but not too far away from the YoungerLife WIMS studios, here off of County Line and Route 20 on the Port of LaPorte County Line is a place called, are you familiar with Strebel Pond? It's literally moments away from here. Someone just said, and this is a phenomenal idea, they would join us. You need to walk Strebel Pond. I think it's a mile totally all the way around.
Really?
Massive people do it. When Troy was alive, God rest his soul, my little doggy, every time that we would come to town as a family and have the dog, we would go there because you could picnic there. But it's got
far
little
is it
points
from
and it's
here?
got 2 minutes.
No, I meant miles. Like if we were to walk there one day.
I would say from the Radio Ranch / YoungerLife Studios,
3 miles.
A couple miles. I'd say 2 to 3. Yeah, 2 to 3.
So round trip, we'd be 5 miles if we did that.
Right, but then we walk Strebel Pond.
Sweet. I say we do it one day. And that sounds like a crazy long ways, but
no,
that would be wonderful to do on a show once. Just leave from here, go see how long it takes. We may not be back by 10, but we might be. I don't care either. I think that would be wonderful.
How about this?
Okay.
We could have the person that's filming us walking backwards the whole time.
But they are
really so serious.
And they should feel grateful to us. Look at that. We're making sure that we're helping.
You're working your muscle group
And we're helping to ensure that you reduce your risk of Alzheimer's. Look at that.
Sanders, I'm not doing that. I need more money.
Funny. So anyway.
Alex too, the young dude. No. Yeah. We'll get a volunteer.
Or anybody we'll do volunteer. It ourselves. Hey, I'm okay with selfie cam. I might be a little jiggly, but we could give that a shot. I'm all right with that.
Selfie cam.
Okay, another benefit is reduce your risk of tripping and falling with age, which again is super important. Stepping outside or stepping into walking on a regular basis helps prevent trips and falls that can occur as we age. I have to point this out. Well, first of all, balance loss and weak muscles in the shins that's what helps to makes the shuffling gait, your someone's gait when they're just a shuffler kind of, and that puts you at a much higher risk of tripping and falling. Regular walks help improve balance and by strengthening the lower body, that's why, and walking with an exaggerated heel to toe action like this.
Wait, heel to toe?
If you step on the heel, you take a step heel to toe. Heel to toe.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Okay, I'm just
if you walk with an exaggerated heel to toe action, that can strengthen these muscles even more by emphasizing that movement.
Wait a minute. I want to get strengthened.
Do it.
Exaggerated. So what do you mean?
It just means instead of just say, you step 1, 2, 3, 4, take a step on the heel all the way to the toe, next foot.
By the way, you could see you just walked and you're in the full camera shot here. YouTube.com, people. YoungerLife.org/live.
Watch me exaggerate.
Do that. That's awesome. Wait, hold on.
Do it. I think that's perfect. As you step, you'll feel it. It strengthens. So the perk of that, let me point out again, it helps to strengthen the muscles around the shin. So the more you do that, the less you will be a shuffler as you age, and obviously that's important so you don't trip and fall. Let me say, yesterday I was walking to go pick up a pizza to take to my sister's where my son was.
Sure.
And she wasn't an old lady by any means. She was just an older lady, but she was coming out of a store and stepped in a little crevice in the sidewalk. Ooh. And I was back ways, and it was like slow motion. I saw her, and I said, oh, and down she went. And I said, oh, okay, I'll help pick you up. Just you lean on me. I don't want to touch you. I was afraid I'd hurt her. And she said, I'm actually okay. I'm okay. She said, she cut her little elbow. Aww. And she said, I'm just nervous because I just not too long ago had a knee and a hip replaced. And I said, oh my goodness, can I do something for you? Can I call someone? And we were right outside of the store and someone else came running up and said, you better make a report. And I said, and she said, no. And I said, you might just want to let them know. They might need to know that you have fallen. But other than that, if you're having any issues, please call your doctor. I actually said, do you need me to call your doctor? And she said, no. I'm okay. And she said, I've fallen one other time. So, I mean, falling is a real issue, and it doesn't have to be for the 95-year-olds, because she clearly was not an old lady.
I have fallen plenty of times.
Well, me too, just being clumsy. But I mean, just in a normal walk, it's easy to do that. And you know what you could do too? Not only fall, but twist your ankles so bad. Oh my goodness,
I've done
absolutely.
That. Wicked, where the ankle goes.
One day coming out
like a balloon.
Coming out of church once, I thought I would be clever and funny. I parked by a grassy area and I told the kids, I said, I'll race you to the van. Just being silly, okay? Yeah. Well, I had
being the cool
little boots with heels on them. And they're not like spiky heels, they're just like a heel. I had stepped into a soft piece of grass, twisted my ankle like on soft ground. And I didn't go down, but I ran parallel to the ground for a few steps, like I was going down. But
do you want to demonstrate for us on camera?
No, and then I was laughing and embarrassed. But, the kids, they thought that was so funny. They all beat me to the van, but they were cracking up.
That was the second one. That was the topper.
Oh, it was hilarious. So whatever. Anyways, falling is a real risk, and it only increases as we age. And so again, it's important. Walking can help reduce that risk, especially if you try that heel to toe movement. I didn't realize
really good. I'm learning a lot today because of the walking backwards.
That's why when
that heel to toe.
I get all these articles that they send me, and a lot of them I do like, and I try to read them. But this one I thought was just so pertinent to our own show and our own audience. So another benefit of walking, it can help bolster your memory. Having a hard time remembering where your keys are, well, walking regularly appears to significantly boost, oh my goodness, there's a part of the brain involved in verbal memory and learning, okay? And this is a word I do not know.
Let's hear the word, or spell out the word for us.
Well, it looks like hippocampus. I don't know if that's how you say it.
Well,
that's what it literally looks like.
By the way, let's remind everybody and remind you, we're not doctors. We didn't go to school
I don't have to be ashamed that I don't know that part degrees. Of the brain. So anyways, it actually boosts that part of the brain that's involved with verbal memory and learning. So a new study of women that was done on women 65 and older, that was done at the University of California, found that age-related memory decline was lower in those women that walked more for exercise. So, bravo. I think all the more reason to do it. Your hippocampus, whatever it is,
can I throw this out there?
Benefiting from that, please.
You brought up something, and I'm going through this right now with some of the people that I love in my life. I call it the shrinking theory, back to because someone asked about the whole curvature of the spine and backing and walking. We really should get on a doctor and or a pro that can give us the skinny on, is it good, is it bad? Because that was the question
on the walking or
about
the spine?
Walking. Like if you have a spine issue, let's say you had mentioned the female stat about females, and I noticed this firsthand with people that I love, that they're getting smaller.
Oh yeah, and they shuffle.
And they're shuffling, and I could tell that they're not as. It's all of us are going to go through it with age if you are lucky enough to live, that to that age. But that whole thing with the females and the osteo, is there a way to kind of, let's say you're 35 or 40 now and you want to live a healthy life and you're going to live to 80 or 90. Is there a way to look at it right now? The motto of the show, keep that younger groove going where you're not as tied in. Exercises, medicine, all the above, healthier eating. And that was just a side note based on a text.
I think that's a two-part thing for sure. I feel like all of the things that guests that we've had on, we are constantly learning the exercise on any level, really. And in whatever level you can handle and whichever method you enjoy is key to having a healthier body longer, a younger body longer, no matter what. So I feel like that's for sure. But when you brought up the spine issue, I'm not sure. I mean, again, we would always say before you begin any kind of exercise program or routine or anything, if you have any issues, speak to your doctor, because they can absolutely help find a tailor-made way for you to do things that may allow your issues to not flare up. I think it's very important that you bring that up. It's a super good point.
Awesome. No, I appreciate that. I just thought it'd be
Another
good.
benefit of walking, it lessens the pain conditions like arthritis and fibromyalgia, which are, huge. They affect so many people in our own community, in our own families. And, arthritis doesn't have to just be elderly either.
Oh, no way.
Arthritis there's juvenile arthritis and there's arthritis all
Can I
through.
tell you, sports related arthritis?
Absolutely.
I know
Injury.
so many men and women, young kids, people that just hit it hard, man.
Yes.
They're like training and they're doing stuff and they literally have arthritis.
Arthritis sets in. Walking most days of the week may help lessen pain and reduce symptoms for these conditions, like I said, arthritis or fibromyalgia. Moderate, low impact nature, the nature of walking in general is enough to help lower pain and improve function. But again, it says clearly in this article too, just be sure to consult your doctor beforehand, because if something does need to be tailored or tweaked in any sense, they can. So another benefit, which I think that we all are aware of, and especially with as much progress as Dwayne has made with his own type 2 diabetes.
He really does.
When he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and it scared him and he changed so many different things, walking actually improves blood glucose levels. That doesn't just have to be type 2 diabetes, but it's important to know. Yeah. Walking can improve your blood glucose levels at any time, day or night, but perhaps may even do so more right after a meal, which is something I didn't know. One study that was published in the Journal of Diabetes Care found that a brief 15-minute walk after a meal is as effective as lower blood sugars for 24 hours. In 24 hours, as long as it. I'm sorry, I was trying to read that while I was saying it.
No
I
problem.
read ahead while I was saying it. It actually, a 15-minute walk after a meal is as effective to lower your blood sugar levels in 24 hours as a 45-minute walk another time. So to put that into perspective, since I bundled all that up and bounced that around, if you walk 15 minutes after a meal, it's as effective as stabling that blood sugar level as if you walk 45 minutes any other time during the day.
Can I throw this out there?
So that's 3 times as much.
Do you, Jeremy, and the kids, we do this a lot at our house, and I love it. Whether it's bike riding, walking, or just getting out, we keep active. If, let's say, we go out to eat with family and friends, and we're back at our house now, or they even come over, let's say for a recap, or just hey, come on over. We'll literally take a walk, or we'll just stay active. We don't just plop.
Yeah, we love to, especially in nice weather. We love to take a walk, like I was saying earlier, after dinner.
Walks.
It's just nice. It's a nice way to end the evening, and whatever. So,
and I think
I was shocked to hear that after a 15-minute walk right after a meal. It's just as effective as a 45-minute walk later.
I love it.
Or some other time. That's incredible.
I have to tell you,
I didn't know
from
that.
my Ricky standpoint and your Mary standpoint, as active as we are, and like most people are in most families and professionals, moms, dads, I'll take that 15 minutes anytime. You know what I'm saying? After you eat the meal, go out and do it, because then at least you know that you're getting the best of all worlds.
I mean, say you mid-morning decide it's still good for you, but say you took a 45-minute walk in the morning, that 15-minute walk after dinner did just as much for you as the
you're getting back 30 minutes of your life.
That's incredible. It really is.
Right?
So another benefit is walking on a regular basis raises your immunity. A walk every day actually may even help your body fend off illnesses better.
I could see that being
me too. I think that's kind of a no-brainer. I wasn't surprised by that. Let's see. Regular exercise of any sort contributes to maintaining a healthy weight, which helps reduce your risk of cancer, other diseases, and type 2 diabetes. And here's the one we already kind of touched on about sleep. Walking, it helps to improve your sleep. Walking may help you fall asleep faster and sleep more soundly.
I could see that in a heartbeat.
Especially for a sufferer of insomnia. A morning walk outdoors is particularly beneficial to expose you to some of the vitamin D in the sunlight in the morning, the daylight. So it helps you stay in tune and helps your body set those rhythms for day and night and sleep. So
Can I throw this out there?
Overall sleep better.
I think we're going to slam that stat right with the bike riding. When we went on that late night bike ride last night, when I came back, I was so not only relaxed, but I could just feel my being. It was way later than I would normally. I literally went to bed after kissing my 3 girls. And Mike was over, everybody, Blackhawks, woo-woo, but they didn't win. I went to bed and I slept beautifully. I slept through the night till my alarm clock Which for me is,
nice.
I mean, for me to get 4 or 5 hours, I get up all the time. It's crazy. My body gets me up constantly.
Oh, that's rough.
Well, can I tell you why? I think it's because your mind's constantly going.
It's so true. Your mind, when my mind is running
racy.
or I'm constantly thinking of, the next day's plan.
That's me.
I try really hard to not do that at bedtime because otherwise I can't settle my own. I can't quiet my own mind.
Or did you ever do this, just to kind of throw in another spin to this? Did you ever, as you're going to sleep, you're thinking about someone, something, or in an event or something, and you actually start dreaming about it?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
I think, too, if I have to get up, I know you are an early riser on a regular basis.
1:40
I
to
am
2
not.
o'clock in the morning.
And if it were my way, nothing would start before 9 a.m. So that way that I could get up at 7 and, I take my time getting everybody ready and out the door. That would be ideal. But,
Wow.
I mean, not that happens, but that would be amazing if I could do that. If I have to get up super early for some reason, something specific going on, or I sleep worse because I'm so afraid I'm going to oversleep.
Absolutely agree
So
with
I
you.
stare at the clock and fall back asleep. Grab my glasses. I can't see. My alarm clock's across the room, so my glasses
Or do you
are
have
on the
double and triple
nightstand.
alarms? Oh, if that one breaks, we have a power outage.
I set my cell phone alarm as well as the
My
house
daughter showed
alarm
me how to
just
use
in
my
case.
phone as an alarm.
Yeah, it's
Do you
nice.
use yours?
I set my cell phone alarm, especially if I know a storm's coming, just in case.
Oh, yeah.
Our alarm clock is supposed to be battery backup, but it's failed before. So just in case, I set my cell phone alarm.
Was
too.
that the error of the user, or was that just
No, I
your
think the
alarm
battery
clock?
just was dead. I think it had been in there a long time
that's
because
cool.
it's not often you would need, it would
I
be
get it.
rare circumstances that the power is going to go out and the battery has to back it up. And I think it was just dead from being in there for so long. But anyway, so that's the 10 amazing benefits of
love
walking.
it.
I think, I learned a few things out of those.
Sure.
None of them were crazy surprises, but get out there and walk today. Even if it is only 15 minutes, make it after a meal, make the most of it.
I like that.
I
want to throw this out there too. Speaking of movement, want to remind you that Dancing Like a Star is coming up at the back end of May. Now, I know that you've got that ginormous poster in front of you. Why don't you roll through some of the local faves that are going to be dancing? Check out all those wonderful names right there at the bottom.
Yeah. So these are a good-looking bunch of people here. You see them? Are they
Look
on?
at her. She's got it held up. Woo!
Yeah.
Mary Anthony for
So
president.
dancing, this is going to be when you said May 27th. Elizabeth Decker, Teresa Edwards, Shannon Hannon, Sarah Jones, Jim Aaron, Brandon Jones. Are they related, I wonder?
I don't know. I don't.
Kevin Noland, Charlie Roberts, and Chris Yagelski. I think that looks like a lot of fun. It's going to be cool.
And I know that your Younger Life guy, Rick Federici, is going to be master of ceremonies for that.
That's awesome.
So we'll work that one out.
You know what? I'm
hard.
really excited about. I mean, I love dancing, and I love to watch people
love
dance.
dancing.
So that's always fun. I am excited, too. We have, actually, later this week, we're going to be pre-recording a piece with the Mobile Library.
Yes.
And the reason why, because they're amazing anyways, but one of the reasons is they're going to be at the Dirt to Delicious. They're a partner for LaPorte Hospital for that.
Can't wait.
With Sasha G. Burns. And we're trying to get, I've been in talks with her. We're trying to nail down a date to go out to her organics
Are you
farm.
talking to her people and they're talking to your
Yeah,
people?
it's she and I.
Yeah.
We're talking.
I know.
So,
you couldn't play with me on that, right?
I could have, yeah. But, I'm not a good fibber. It would have been
No,
pretty
that's
obvious.
cool.
So, yeah.
Well,
So, I've been talking to her about getting out there so we can take a peek around the farm. We've had her on before. She's awesome. And so, I'm really excited.
Love
And
her.
she will be on the lawn at the hospital, too, doing demos. And I'm going to be there this year. I just want to check it out because I didn't go last year.
I can't wait. You
I
think the
know.
kids will roll with us this year?
I'm
Yours?
not sure. I know a couple of mine have sporting stuff. It's a Saturday.
yeah.
So we've got to, I've got to kind of split up,
Now, what is, if you don't mind me asking, what is the date of that? Is that
That
the,
is May 21st,
May 21st.
on the LaPorte
Awesome.
Hospital lawn. It's 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
That's off of Lincoln Way in downtown LaPorte by the
Yeah.
courthouse area as you come over the bridge. So for folks knowing, it's right across the street
It's
from
a hands-on event.
Roxy Music. Yeah.
It's going to be really cool.
Cool.
And like I
Nice.
said, the library is going to be part of it. And
Hey, speaking of that
you
library.
can bring children. Says,
Oh, that's good.
bring your
It's
little
free?
gardeners for their own interactive their own interactive thing here where they're including smoothie tasting, dill pickle making.
Can I do that?
Story times. I know that would be
I
awesome.
love, through the years and many times through the last several decades doing the radio TV thing, I love reading to children in groups.
Oh, yeah.
You would be perfect too because you got that great energy.
Well,
and great
it's funny.
personality.
I love to read.
And you could be the character.
That's it. I love to read. We are big readers in our house. So I love to read to the kids and, be silly. And that's fun.
I want to throw this out there. Speaking of the library, there's a video chat with Skype coming up on May 12th at the Kingsford Heights library system. Want to connect face to face. This is for parents. Like my daughter's going to college and I already know how to do, all these different things that we've connected with, whether it's FaceTime or Skype. This one, it's Skype. So if you want some more information, we got some of that for you. And then also Apps 101 on the 24th at the Union Mills branch, Mary. It's going to be cool for an hour. What are apps? How do you get them? And learn the difference between all the different Droid apps and stuff.
Well, and that's nice. I think, even those of us that use parts of the technology, that doesn't mean that I get all of it. You know what I mean? So I think please.
I'm learning all the time.
You can always learn. Yeah,
hey, listen,
I feel
if
like
you have children, especially yours.
Please. My kids they show me things on a regular basis.
Crazy. Mine too.
Me up,
But you've got a nice age diversity there where the younger ones are probably in certain cases know more than the older ones.
Yeah, well,
because
at least
they're learning so much.
What's funny is they typically always know more than I do when it comes to stuff like that, even the little ones. And so, it's fun. And, I'm always telling the kids too, it's important to learn new things regularly, even for grown-ups. We don't know everything. My littlest kids, of course, they think, well, your mom, why don't you know? Our parents know everything. It's okay to tell your kids, I don't know, but we can look that up. That's what's amazing these days, because we can look that up because I'm not sure.
You mean Google, Mom?
And they say, let me handle that. You just tell me, here, hand me the iPad.
Right.
They're much better at it than I am. But it is nice, and there are always so many cool events. But the walking, I love the idea of walking around the pond. I think that is a great idea.
Why don't we set that up Why don't we set that up for next week?
I'd say let's do it.
Because we could have a crew. And I got to be honest with you. I don't mind you and I doing it. And we'll Skype all the way down there. And I think that'll be fun.
That would be a great time.
I'm telling you, if we go from the Radio Ranch, Younger Life studios, and we walk, it probably would be a healthy 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh, it would be walking. At least. So my question is, we would have to cross 20?
Yeah, but who cares?
But that would be it?
Wouldn't that be wild what would happen on camera?
Run! Yeah!
Run, Tilly, run!
It would be fun. I think we should definitely do that. I love to do that kind of thing. I feel like every time we get out of the studio and do something a little bit different, it brings such a different perspective to the show. So I think it's important to do.
Awesome. Well, had a blast. I learned
Get out there and walk.
The walking backwards thing, I really want to try that
walking
tonight.
Backwards, the heel to toe.
I think the other thing is someone chimed in and asked about what are the proper shoes. That's for a whole other time. We got about 40 seconds left.
That is a whole other time. I think honestly, whatever you're most comfortable in, start small.
Right.
But if you have any issues, talk to your doctor. Beforehand, or if you have any health concerns with walking or any other exercise, talk to your doctor first. But it's important to get out there and try it, and walking is a great way to start. So
walking and doing it up and south. Thank you, Mary Anthony.
Thank you.
I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony.
And that's another wrap for Younger Life. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
AM 1420, WIMS, Michigan City, a Girard Media Company.